Hello and welcome to For Every Response, the podcast from Emergency Services Times, brought to you live from the Emergency Services Show here at the NEC in Birmingham. Sponsored by MSA Safety, we bring you insights, conversations and views from across the emergency services world. Okay, so I am joined today by Egbe Manners from Ordnance Survey and Rob Goldsmith from Devon and Cornwall Police. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, can you just both kindly introduce yourselves? Obviously, I've just introduced you, but just tell us a bit more about what you both do in your respective roles.
Okay, so I'll go first. My name's Egbe Manners, so I am a market development lead for the National Security and Resilience, it's a bit of a mouthful, at OS. So essentially what I do is talk to customers and work with customers like Rob to find out more about their data, what they need, what their requirements are, what challenges they have to ensure that we are building the right data for them. So we're going from providing the data at the moment as part of an agreement where this data is free at the point of use to all emergency services.
Okay, brilliant. Robert?
Okay, and myself. So I am the Geospatial Manager for Devon and Cornwall Police and Dorset Police. That involves having an oversight, I guess, and giving direction on the way that the forces are using geospatial data. That would also involve collecting data, and it would involve analysing that data. So everything from using your Ordnance Survey maps for some crime analysis or something, right through to LiDAR collection and then using drone data to build 3D models for that kind of analysis.
Okay, for someone like me who doesn't know that much, can you just explain what geospatial data is?
I guess it's location intelligence. I would suggest it's everything happens somewhere. It's data with a location that we can glean intelligence from.
I would agree that you just said one of my favorite phrases, everything happens somewhere. So we've moved from the traditional paper maps to having some more intelligence, as you said, behind the data. So we can tell you the height of your buildings, for example. We can tell you if there's a shed at the back of your house, or if you've had a recent extension, we can also tell you that. So it can go from physical data to also address. So once you put in a postcode or an address to say this is Rich's Tower, we can easily locate that address as well.
Okay, that leads us nicely on then. So what kind of potential does geospatial data hold for policing?
Oh, I'm not sure if I should take that or leave it to Rob to do, because Rob pushes the boundaries of geospatial data. And I feel as if we're starting to scratch the surface. As I said, we're moving from having a paper map on a wall during an incident to kind of getting more information. So moving, as we said previously, moving from reactive to more proactive, and working with people like Rob is understanding how far we can kind of push it, and Rob kind of tests it to its limit. So I'll pass that question to Rob.
I would probably say there's not a department in the organisation that couldn't find value from geospatial data. Mm-hmm. So I think if you're looking at your performance departments and you're saying, actually, what's our performance like? Where are things happening? You can use geospatial data. If you're looking at your counter-terrorism planning, you could use geospatial data. If it's your ops planning, geospatial data. If it's your crime analysis, geospatial data. I think the use for that data can just generally improve every area of an organisation. And I think previously that probably hasn't been done to the level that it could be done. And I think now, again, working with Ordnance Survey and Egbe and other people that we work alongside, we're kind of looking at where that value lies, and we're finding where we can improve and where we can move forward and how we can innovate and how we can use that data to improve our results.
Okay, in terms of like specific use case examples, obviously I sat in on your session earlier, so I know a little bit about what you're doing in Torquay, but can you just give us a very quick kind of overview how geospatial data is helping address problems like antisocial behaviour, underage drinking, graffiti, that kind of stuff on the streets?
Yeah, so something we've been doing recently, and this is what we presented on, was around Torquay. What we were looking at doing ourselves is working with partners to gather data, to look at areas where we have problems, where we have concerns about specific items, and then we're looking at using that geospatial intelligence to address those concerns, or at least give us the tools and the means to address those. So in Torquay, what we were able to do is we were able to fly a drone and build that town in 3D, and then we were working alongside partners then to use AI or machine learning, deep learning, to go through that 3D model and identify items that we feel have a link to specific crimes happening. So in the example we gave earlier, we talked about graffiti, and we ran a tool that automatically found all of the graffiti across that town. We know that there are links between where graffiti is happening, antisocial behaviour, and other crimes. So if we can identify these, and we can then look at where our crimes are happening, we can then use that intelligence to give us some kind of stepping stone to try and address those problems.
Okay. Any, Egbe, maybe one for you. Are there any kind of associated challenges with geospatial as it stands right now?
Oh, definitely. There are always challenges with everything, especially in technological world. And I guess where OS, as I said, we're moving from the paper maps, and then we've moved to digital, and now making that data a bit more analytical. So the challenges is trying to reach as many people using the data as we can at the moment, and taking a step back and not just saying it's geospatial. It is data at the heart of it. It is just data. So it's ensuring that you have the analyst, you have the non-geospatial expert using the data. So for example, as I said, you need an address. You can have that. You need to know this is the floor it sits on. You can have that information. You need to know all the buildings that are above 80 meters. You can easily do that without having the challenge of working with the data and ingesting it to use it.
Yeah. Rob, with the rollout of geospatial data at Devon and Cornwall, and what you're doing in Torquay specifically, has there been any resistance at all for any of your officers with that?
No, I don't think so. Whether that's because they don't know what we're doing, I don't think so. I think change is really difficult with large organisations.
Yeah.
And I think the only challenges we've had are people looking for that widget, that absolute win that we can get from doing this. And at the moment, everything's under scrutiny. Everything needs to be challenged, which is right, and it should be. And we need to prove why, if we're investing our time and our effort and our money into things, why we're doing that. And we need to show the value in doing that. So I wouldn't suggest we've had any kickback or anything negative from officers. But I think, as I say, rightly so, everything we do needs to be looked at under a microscope so that we're using the public's money in the best way.
I think in your discussion earlier, you mentioned digital twins. For those people who don't know, it's basically a digital version of a physical scenario or physical thing, basically. With the digital twin, one of the things you said about was basically you can see what the effect would be if you put a CCTV camera in somewhere, and whether it could see things happening in certain areas. Can you just discuss that a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, so
some benefits.
The phrase digital twin is sort of hotly disputed, because I don't think it is an exact thing.
Yeah.
It's a phrase that people like to throw at a lot of different things, whether that's a system, whether that's a 3D environment, whether it's multiple things that you could get. But I guess a digital twin is there to offer you as much intelligence and information around a thing. And for us, that thing is a geospatial location. It's a real life 3D kind of location that we would be at. So our digital twin of Torquay, it provides a 3D model as that backdrop, in the same way as Ordnance Survey would provide a backdrop for something. And then what we're able to do is we're able to work with our partners to bring all that intelligence into a single space. So we were able to put in CCTV cameras and look at the view sheds to see what they could see. We were able to put in lighting and see the well-lit areas and the poorly lit areas. And I think, again, on that survey, providing quite a lot of that data now anyway around lighting and things. But it gives you the environment to kind of work in, like a sandbox that you're able to do some of that analysis in without having to keep visiting the site. Devon and Cornwall is a really large force, so going from end to end is often not the easiest thing to do. So what we did in Torquay, there was a location we needed to put a camera because we felt that there was crime happening in a specific area. We put that camera in within our digital twin, and we were then able to see that view shed of that camera and identify that it would cover the areas where we wanted to see that people were using them to commit specific crimes. So we were happy then to take that leap to have for the council to work with us to spend that money and then to put that into place. So would that have not happened with a digital twin? I mean, maybe it still would have, but it gives you a really good evidence base and a reason and a bit of description around what you're going to get with that.
Yeah. Okay, and Egbe, obviously it's been a huge leap from paper maps to geospatial data. What's the next step? What's on the horizon? What can we expect?
Oh, this is me kind of going into my head, as in what's my dream. So I guess in terms of kind of what we do at the moment, and we definitely want to do it better, but want to ensure that the data and services we're providing to the community meet their needs. As I said earlier, it doesn't have to be us providing it. It's how do we work better as a community, either with a force, either with a service, or even with a supplier, and just a consortium of people working together to achieve an outcome. That is my absolute dream. So yeah, well, I think once that happens, I might be able to retire early, but yeah, that's my dream.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. And finally, how have you found the show? I know it's early days still on the first day, but how's it been so far for both of you?
Yeah, so far it's been good, as we've been trying to prep for this for a few days, a few months. It's been really great. I mean, for me, we speak to Rob all the time, but hearing their presentation and how we're all working towards hotspot policing and how they've gone from, oh, okay, I can tell you where to send officers, but then I can tell you what times of the day. It's kind of how we can start to push all of that. What I'm hoping to get after this is kind of go find out more about AI. Rob spoke about it earlier. How is the community using AI? Are they using AI? Because we're all talking about it. So that's what I'm hoping to kind of get, hopefully.
Rob?
Yeah, so from my perspective, I think obviously it's just such a collection of great people. There are so many people that we work with here, and quite often we don't get to meet in person. So for me and the team that I've come up with, I think having this space, having the areas that you guys have got set up, absolutely everything around it is just given a really great single place to kind of get involved with loads of really innovative companies and to talk to them and to meet in person. And there are massive benefits in doing that. We have so many calls through Teams and everything else, but I think standing with someone and talking to them and passionately discussing what you could achieve, and so many of those people that we work with, they're all here today. So yeah, it's just trying to get to everybody in time, I think, today.
Okay, brilliant. Egbe, Rob, thank you so much for your time and enjoy the rest of the show.
Will do. Thank you for having us.
Cheers.
You're welcome.